Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. A few days before William Samoei Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga sit down with their bipartisan team to try and broker a truce between them for the sake of the nation, the revelations that are coming is that the reason why these talks will not move on is not because of maybe Raila Odinga and William Ruto himself, but the people who surround them. There are those who have been labeled hardliners, and they are hardliners for several reasons. Mount Kenya finds itself in the middle of this political broil because supremacy battle within Mount Kenya has found itself deep inside these bipartisan talks and meetings. And the two people who are leading these hardline stands are two sons and daughters of Mount Kenya. So the two people who find themselves in the middle of these hardline talks are Gachagua and Karua. You know, Mount Kenya has tasted the trappings of power, and they know just how interesting and sweet power is. Karua was in the middle of talks in 2007, when Mwai Kibaki was in a political altercation with Raila Amolo Odinga. Karua is a seasoned politician. She's a lawyer by profession, and she's very fearless. In fact, I remember during the Kibaki reign, she was given a name, the Iron Lady. In fact, in some media station, she was being referred as the only man standing in Kibaki government. Because during that 2007 altercation, it is reported that Kibaki was about to cede grounds. But it is Karua who stood up and told him not to attempt anything like giving up. And during the negotiations, Karua really gave Kofi Annan difficult times until it was reported that at some point she had to be kicked out together with William Samoei Ruto. Martha was in the Kibaki side. William Ruto was on Raila's side. And during the negotiations, they kept on giving conditions that could not be met. Time was running out, and America had given timelines. They were chased out, and Raila Amolo Odinga and Mwai Kibaki were called to sit together, and they were forced into a handshake. Martha hates William Ruto with passion, because even after that coalition government, their relationship with William Samoei Ruto, when William Ruto was the Minister of Agriculture, their relationship was very sound. They never read from the same page. And that is what informs her decision even to hate Ruto, and that is why she has maintained a stand that William Ruto can never be given room to rule. She's one person who believes that William Ruto never won, and when she decides to pursue something, she never gets tired. Remember, after the ruling, Karua went to Arusha, to the East African courts, to pursue the interpretation of the Supreme Court ruling. Some people mocked her that she was on a wild goose chase for justice. Karua knows very well that there is a vacuum in Mount Kenya succession politics. And he understands very well that Raila Amolo Odinga will soon exit politics. And if you've seen the way they carry themselves, it is like Raila Amolo Odinga is paving the way for Karua and Kalonzo Musyoka. And this is the reason why Karua does not want to leave. Because if she leaves this, then it will go to Rigathi Gachagua. That is why she insists that server must be opened so that they know the truth. Because if that server is open, then Karua will automatically become one of the kingpins. Rigathi Gachagua, on the other hand, is another son of Mumbi. When people were fighting for liberation, he was a Dio in the Nyayo era. He's been very lucky because he vied as a member of parliament in Madeira constituency and he won. And then plunged into the position, one of the most prestigious positions as a deputy president. He's always maintained a very strong stand that Raila Amolo Odinga and William Ruto cannot talk together. And he does not want this server to be opened. Why? He knows very well that if this server is opened, his chances of becoming the president in 2032 is gone, because that server will reveal the truth. He's one person who has maintained that if at all William Ruto will shake hands with Raila Amolo Odinga, he could even resign. In fact, he's running the show, he's calling the shots. Sometimes he's in Mount Kenya praying. Sometimes he's meeting the Mount Kenya people, telling them that they want to talk about youths who are addicted to drug and substance abuse. And he wants to entrench himself as the ultimate Mount Kenya kingpin. With all the power that he has decided that he will frustrate Uhuru Kenyatta. He was at the center of the goons that went to Uhuru's land and invaded that land. So these are the people who have captured Raila Amolo Odinga hostage. Even if Raila wanted to talk, even if William Ruto wanted to talk to Raila, these two people will never allow them, because each and every one of them is seeing a vacuum, is seeing an opportunity. Either of them, if Rigathi Gachagua succeeds, if William Ruto succeeds in maintaining this power, if he succeeds in becoming the president for 1 year without any interference, for the next 5 years, then Rigathi Gachagua is very lucky. He might automatically just inherit after William Samoei Ruto. But if Raila frustrates William Samoei Ruto to an extent that maybe people go for an early election, to an extent that maybe in 2027 the economy is crippled, Rigathi does not have a chance. And in this sense, it will now be Kalonzo Musyoka and Martha Karua. So ladies and gentlemen, even as this talk continue, these two sons and daughters of Mumbi are at the center of everything, and they are wielding those wild cards, and they have those hardline start, because they know very well that whichever way it will tilt to either of them. And for the Mount Kenya people, they are very lucky. If it tilts to Rigathi Gachagua, they are on it. If it tilts to Martha Karua, they are on it. I know there are other factors like the people, some of the international community who are funding them, but the two main protagonists are Rigathi Gachagua and Martha Karua.